I look at mom like a superhero. She is the caretaker who gives back into her family and everyone she knows. Her love language was acts of service and giving advice to those who always needed it. She always said that was a gift, and she always had your best interest in heart, not just for themselves, but to strengthen our community even more.
Okay, so I walk the waterfront. Each day I walk the waterfront Monday through Saturday. And on Sundays I went to church. Monday through Saturday I talked to the people, walked for like 2.5 hours a day. And then after that I went to work for an elderly couple, even though I'm retired. A pastor called me and asked me if I could go look and see if they needed anything. And I said yes, and they did need things.
Mom personality? She's very wise and direct, but can be funny. I think she tries to be funny. She thinks she's really funny, and I think it's funny. I think she has a lot of experience and knowledge that she likes to share. So um, sometimes I talk to her about this a lot, but I talk to her about the way she divulges information. Sometimes she has to like kind of tone it down because everybody doesn't receive information in such a direct way.
She showed increased concern for others, whether they were homeless, people just in general that she might have met at, say, restaurants or in a store or just where she might show up sometimes with her friends and her family, and for those who were infirmed. So that's what I saw as far as the change in her. It just increased over time.
Early in the morning one day, she got a call from a doctor, and for a moment, she was in distraught, unable to even fathom the news.
She didn't tell me. She actually didn't tell me. She got a phone call, and I remember being at work, and my phone kept going off, and she called like back to back to back. So I stepped out of my meeting, and I'm like, "What's going on?" When I asked mom, as mom, she was like, "What's going on?" And she's like, "I think these people just told me that I have breast cancer, but she's like, I couldn't hear what they said because it didn't say, I just couldn't process it. So they're going to call back. I need you to be on the phone to hear what they're saying because she's like, I must have missed something, or she thought it was like not real." So I think when she initially heard from Kaiser, um, the surgical department, I don't think she thought they were calling the right person. And so the person, I think, that was reading her images after she got her mammogram said, "We're gonna refer you to general surgery to have a consultation and talk about your options." And so she kept asking, "Well, what is it? What stage is it?" And they were like, "We're gonna refer you to surgery so they can talk about your options."
I basically shared it with my children. I'm sure just probably one or two other family members. Just mainly my siblings. I did share it with my sisters and brothers. I just wanted to keep it really in my immediate family. Because I'm not even sure if I really shared it with you, Nick. That I just didn't want you to be concerned because, you know, I'm such a believer that I don't want other people to take on what I was going through, because you guys had your own lives.
I knew at some point, like, there would come a time where mom would have to go through surgery or need health and healing, as I had watched her take care of many people before me. I watched her do it, and the amount of grace and concern and care as she poured into those people at that time. So I knew at the time that it came for her, I kind of wanted to make sure she had that same support. And so initially, I think she thought that it was worse than what it was suspected. But her surgeon that her first surgeon that initially consulted on the case, I don't think we felt too comfortable about their skills, maybe. It didn't seem like maybe a good fit. Like, they didn't seem very knowledgeable about what was going on. And so we then met Dr. Isaacson, and he was like an angel. He was so personable. It was very comforting. As comforting as it could be getting a diagnosis like that. There was a time where it was very hard, like, just for women, I think, when you get undressed and get dressed and have to look at yourself, for anybody have to look at themselves in the mirror, but noticing that drastic of a change that happened after just a few hours of being under anesthesia, it is pretty significant. And on top of that, like, having to medically take care of yourself, it was hard. I was there, I changed like her bandages, I changed her drains. There was a lot of tears and mental anguish, I would say. And I know I can't physically do anything but me, making those changes so she didn't have to like look at them until she was ready.
I cried, not often, because my children was a great support system, and the friends I had walking this pavement every day for a few years before and after 8 weeks after the surgery, because the friends I met here was very kind, and they offered to take me to lunch and go different places with them, and just reach out and give them a call, or they called me checking on me. So it was important that I had that support system down here. Then going through that whole process, it was so painful, I think, of having the surgery. And you asked me, remember you said, would you go through it? I was like, nah, it was so painful. But then a month after that, you're like, how do you feel? I gotta do it all over again because I felt more complete.
I was like, you was like, this shit that is the worst. Like the reconstruction, you was like, oh, this is worse. Oh, never. He was like, never again. Then I was like, then I asked again like a month and a half later, and she said, absolutely, I would do this again in a heartbeat. To have the surgery, the pain that came from the surgery too. I've seen Mom have a lot of surgeries. I've seen her have a lot of surgeries over the years, and this one, and the amount of pain that she described from it. The first I had really saw her not be able to handle it for a moment in time.
And she had no problem showing my friend and I, where she received the plastic surgery and how grateful she was of that surgeon and what a fantastic job they did with the plastic surgery. And most women wouldn't do that. I can tell you that right now.
Mom always carries her faith in the same way she carries herself. She wanted the community to be educated and always drove everyone to do their best. I had to be strong for Mom because she always gave us the empowerment to keep trying.
I come down here often because it's very therapeutic. I think of God's goodness, and the water is so peaceful down here. Everything is so peaceful, the birds of the air, the ducks, the people. It's so peaceful and beautiful. And so we're going through this journey of breast cancer. It was not a breeze, but it was okay. Because if I lived, I lived. If I didn't, I didn't. Because I knew at the end, I had a heavenly home. So I wasn't scared or death. I didn't want to go, but it's a reality. Everybody dies. It's just a reality. It's a reality that we all have to face. And it's sad. you know, because it traumatized me losing my grandmother, you know, and then 6 years later, losing my mother and watching her take her last breath, you know. So life is complicated, so you have to develop thick skin, and God has blessed me to be able to have that thick skin and be very strong in a way that I could endure these type of things.
My mother is a staple. My mother is fearless. My mother is strong. My mother is a survivor.